We all make decisions every day that affect our health and well-being, especially when it comes to food. The time has come for us to start thinking about what we eat in a new way.
Meet Dr. William Li, a world-renowned Harvard-trained medical doctor, researcher, president, and founder of the Angiogenesis Foundation. His work has led to more than 40 FDA-approved therapeutics and devices for cancer, cardiovascular disease, wound healing, and vision loss. He is also a New York Times best-selling author with Eat to Beat Disease: The New Science of How Your Body Can Heal Itself. He also published another book, Eat to Beat Diet: Burn Fat, Heal Your Metabolism, and Live Longer. Struggling with brain fog or feeling like your energy's stuck in neutral? What if the foods you eat could regenerate your stem cells, sharpen your mind, and strengthen your brain? In this video featuring Dr. Li, we'll explore 6 omega-3 rich foods that do just that. These picks not only boost brain power, but also help your body renew itself from the inside out. Stick around until the end, where we reveal how to enjoy all these budget-friendly ideas with easy, detailed steps. Disclaimer: Chia seeds.
Let's talk about another category of foods that can help keep hormones in balance, and that is your omega-3 fatty acids. Sometimes they're called PUFAs, P-U-F-A. That stands for polyunsaturated fatty acid. Okay, and the name is accurate. These are healthy fats. Now, you can get these healthy fats from plant-based foods. Okay, you get the precursor, linoleic acid. Chia seeds have them as an example. When you eat them, your body has to convert the linoleic acid from the chia seed. It converts it into omega-3s. All right, and it's actually a useful thing if you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan to know that seeds like chia seeds can actually be a good source of omega-3s. Now, the one thing about omega-3s that is helpful no matter what is they lower inflammation. Lowering inflammation protects us essentially from many of the chronic diseases that are fueled or sparked, triggered by inflammation. So it's a countermeasure against chronic disease. And on top of that, the recent research has shown that omega-3s can protect our stem cells. These are the cells inside our body that allow us to regenerate and heal and repair our organs. Omega-3s, omega-6s are really just words, names that describe polyunsaturated fatty acids. These are healthier forms of fat that are important for our body. And the fact is that we need both omega-3s and omega-6s. The problem, as you just mentioned, is that we in sort of modern societies tend to eat way too many omega-6s. And just like everything else in health, when you're out of balance and when you have too much of one and not enough of another, that extreme, especially with omega-6, sets us up for inflammation.
Dr. Li recommends chia seeds because they're packed with omega-3 fatty acids that regenerate stem cells and strengthen your brain. These tiny seeds are loaded with ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 that your body converts into brain-loving compounds like DHA. DHA is a building block for brain cell membranes, keeping them flexible and firing on all cylinders. Think better focus, memory, and mood. Chia seeds also spark stem cell activity, helping your body repair and renew tissues, which keeps you feeling youthful and sharp. Plus, their fiber and protein stabilize blood sugar, so you avoid those mental crashes that derail your day. What makes chia seeds stand out is their versatility and power in small doses. According to a review in Gells, chia seeds have special properties that can help in medicine, particularly for things like healing bones. When chia seeds are soaked in water, they produce a jelly-like substance called mucilage, which can form hydrogels. Scientists studied these hydrogels to see how they behave, and if they are safe for human cells. They found out that chia mucilage is not toxic, meaning it won't harm our cells, and it can help our body's own stem cells, which are important for healing and making new tissue. The chia gel did not get in the way of stem cells turning into bone-like cells, showing it can work well in helping with body repair. This is exciting because it means a simple scoop of seeds can upgrade your brain and body without much effort. They soak up liquid like magic, turning into a creamy pudding that feels indulgent but fuels you right. Buy them in bulk to save cash, and store them in your pantry. They last forever and work in sweet or savory dishes. Here's a budget-friendly chia seed brain boost pudding recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Grab a bag of chia seeds, check bulk bins or big box stores for deals. In a jar or bowl, mix 3 tablespoons of chia seeds with 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk. Store brand is cheap, or water if you're really pinching pennies. Add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a drizzle of honey or maple syrup for sweetness. Keep it light to avoid sugar spikes. Stir well, then let it sit in the fridge for at least 4 hours. Overnight is best, until it thickens into a pudding. Before eating, top with a handful of frozen blueberries, affordable and brain-friendly, and a sprinkle of crushed walnuts if you've got them. This smooth, omega-3 rich pudding is a breeze to make, costs next to nothing, and sharpens your mind all day long. Wild-caught salmon.
Proteins are the building blocks of life. They're critical if you actually want to live long and if you want to prosper, thrive. Because as we age, we lose protein and muscle mass. Now, losing muscle mass is actually a setup for becoming frail and less mobile, which cuts into your lifespan. So you need to actually keep your protein in and build it up with exercise. And that's the same as being a bodybuilder. Now, think about maintaining strength during aging as bodybuilding over the course of a lifetime. So up to the age of 40, you should be eating about 50 to 60 grams of protein per day for the average size person. And between the ages of 40 and 50, that's above the age of 40, you start losing muscle mass. An example you might see is think about the older person that you might have seen in your life, somebody with really, really thin arms or really, really thin legs. Their body might actually be looking okay, but you can tell they're actually losing muscle mass. This is called sarcopenia, and it increases the risk of falls, where you can break a hip or worse. And falling is actually the precipitating event for older adults who are living independently, where after a fall, especially if they break their hips, they can't manage anymore by themselves. They've lost their independence and they need assisted living or a caregiver to be able to get around safely. So you don't want to become frail. You don't want to actually fall. If you're going to live long, you want to be able to live as independently as possible. And developing that strength, keeping up that muscle mass is absolutely critical. So adding protein to your diet after the age of 40, somewhere between 75 to 90 grams of protein a day is kind of where you want to aim at. Now, every person is different, which is why it's called personalized nutrition. So there's no one hard number that you want to actually stick to. And if you're physically active, you might even need more protein. And as I was saying before, you need protein and the use of your muscles, exercise, in order to be able to actually benefit from that added protein intake. So if you want to do this right, I suggest consulting a trained nutritionist and explaining that you're trying to optimize your protein goals. And this will be useful because they'll help you calculate the right amount of protein that's tailored to you, tailored to your body size, to your physical activity, to your other health conditions you might have, and other factors. And that's why I'm not giving you a black and white single number that you need to hit, because everybody's different when it comes to the amount of protein that they need. So what are some of the best sources of protein to help you towards longevity? Well, meat is a good source of protein. You know, beef, pork, chicken, duck, fish, shellfish, all good sources of protein. For example, a 3-ounce serving of beef has about 20 grams of protein. A 3-ounce serving of chicken breast has about 25 to 26 grams of protein, even a little bit more than beef. Ground pork has about 22 grams of protein per 3-ounce serving, about the same amount as ground turkey. But we know that in the end, that eating large amounts of red meat, not healthy in the long run. So we're talking about beef here. And longevity is all about the long game. So I encourage you to think about other sources of protein besides red meat. As I mentioned, seafood is another source of protein. For example, salmon is a good source of protein, as well as a good source of omega-3 fatty acids, which are good for longevity. A 3-ounce serving of salmon has about 22 grams of protein, about the same amount as turkey. And cod, which is a mild white flesh fish, has about 19 grams per 3-ounce serving, and it's actually got a good healthy amount of omega-3s as well. Now, clinical studies of both salmon and cod show that these types of seafood are good for your metabolism. Through their omega-3s, they can help you burn harmful body fat, which reduces visceral fat, the kind of fat in the tube of your body, and actually lowers inflammation as well.
Dr. Lee recommends wild-caught salmon because it's an omega-3 powerhouse that regenerates stem cells and strengthens your brain like few other foods can. Salmon's bursting with EPA and DHA, two omega-3s that dive straight into your brain, reducing inflammation and boosting neuron growth. That means clearer thinking, less mental fatigue, and even a lift in mood when you need it most. The omega-3s also kickstart stem cells, helping your body rebuild tissues and stay resilient. Add in some vitamin D and protein, and you've got a meal that keeps your brain humming and your energy steady. Salmon's a star because it's not just about brain power, it's about renewal too. According to a review in Biology Open, a study explored how fat cells from Atlantic salmon can change into bone cells. Scientists took cells from the fat of salmon and grew them in special conditions that either encouraged them to become fat cells or bone cells. They found out that while these cells usually want to become fat cells, they can also become bone cells if given the right environment. In the lab, the salmon cells changed and grew structures that are like bones after a few weeks in the bone-growing conditions. This study is important because it shows that fish cells have the ability to change and can be used to learn more about how bones form, which could help us understand similar processes in humans and other animals. That's why it's worth seeking out. Wild-caught beets farmed for omega-3 content, and canned versions make it wallet-friendly. Its rich, buttery flavor satisfies without feeling heavy, and it's flexible enough for quick meals or fancy dinners. Keep a few cans in your pantry, and you're always ready to boost your brain. Here's a budget-friendly wild-caught salmon patties recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Pick up a can of wild-caught salmon. Look for sales or discount brands. Drain it, then dump it into a bowl with 1 beaten egg. Buy in bulk. A 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs, make your own from stale bread, and a tablespoon of chopped green onion or parsley, dried works too. Season with a pinch of salt, pepper, and a dash of paprika for a smoky kick. Mix until it holds together, then form into 4 small patties. Heat a tablespoon of oil in a skillet over medium, and cook each patty for 3 to 4 minutes per side until golden. Serve with a dollop of Greek yogurt or a squeeze of lemon, plus a side of steamed spinach or carrots. Frozen is fine. These crispy omega-3 packed patties are cheap, take 15 minutes, and supercharge your brain and body. If you've found value in this video so far and appreciate the many hours of effort that went into creating it, please consider liking the video and leaving a comment to support the channel. Flaxseed.
Yeah, well, so omega-3s, omega-6s are really just words, names that describe polyunsaturated fatty acids. These are healthier forms of fat that are important for our body. And the fact is that we need both omega-3s and omega-6s. The problem, as you just mentioned, is that we in sort of modern societies tend to eat way too many omega-6s. And just like everything else in health, when you're out of balance and when you have too much of one and not enough of another, that extreme, especially with omega-6, sets us up for inflammation. But let's go ahead and take a look at omega-3s, which are the beneficial healthy fats of PUFAs, polyunsaturated fatty acids, that we tend not to get enough of. So, omega-3s are a family of fatty acids. They're sort of EPA or eicosapentaenoic acid, EPA, or DHA, which is docosahexaenoic acid. And these actually originally come from algae and plankton and sort of plants of the sea, as I like to call them. And little critters, little fish, little shellfish eat the algae and the plankton. They build up the omega-3s in their bodies, which then are eaten by larger fish. And then you go up the food chain, the smaller fish are eaten by the next larger fish, and so on and so forth. And of course, then the fish that we tend to eat, especially the ones that are well known to be filled with healthy fats, as they say, the salmon, the tuna, or the mackerels, these are predatory fish, the so-called oily fish, wind up actually accumulating these omega-3s in their flesh. And that's what makes seafood actually healthy. But you can also get omega-3s from dietary supplements. And I think that's very important because not everybody is used to eating, or sometimes people just can't eat or can't get the types of seafoods that actually contain them. I also want to say that you can get omega-3s from eating plant-based foods, because some plant-based foods, like chia seeds and flax seeds and walnuts and Brussels sprouts, they actually have the precursor to omega-3s that when you eat them, your body can make some omega-3s as well, although not very much. And so there's different ways of getting omega-3s. And the reason I, as a scientist and a doctor, tell people, including my patients, that omega-3s are important to know about and important to consume is because we know they help cardiovascular health. They're associated with a lower risk of heart disease. They improve your circulation, which is important whether you're a young person who's physically active, you need more blood flow to your muscles on one hand, but on the other hand, there are people that are older that need better blood flow to their brain and other organs as well. But when we think about good cognition, we want to be able to actually be vital and functional for as long as we're able to with our lifespan. Omega-3s play a role there as well. Now, the one thing about omega-3s that is helpful no matter what is they lower inflammation. Lowering inflammation protects us essentially from many of the chronic diseases that are fueled or sparked, triggered by inflammation. So it's a countermeasure against chronic disease. And on top of that, the recent research has shown that omega-3s can protect our stem cells. These are the cells inside our body that allow us to regenerate and heal and repair our organs from the inside out. And when it comes to metabolism, it turns out omega-3s play a role there too. Omega-3s activate a special kind of body fat called brown fat in all of our bodies. This is a good fat. So if omega-3s are a kind of good fat we eat, it activates a kind of good fat that we have inside our body. It's plastered around our neck, under our breastbone, underneath our arms. And this good fat burns down, improves our metabolism, burns down harmful visceral fat, which also lowers inflammation. So here's what we're talking about. These are healthy fats that you can get from various types of food sources or dietary supplements that are so important in our modern knowledge of health.
Dr. Lee recommends flax seeds because their omega-3s regenerate stem cells and strengthen your brain, making them a must-have for mental clarity. Like chia, flax seeds deliver ALA that your body turns into DHA, feeding your brain cells and keeping them sharp. They're also loaded with lignans and fiber, which support stem cell health by reducing oxidative stress. Think of it as a shield against brain aging. According to a study in Stem Cell and Flaxseed on neurotoxicity, researchers looked at how stem cells and flaxseed oil help protect the brain from damage caused by lead. Researchers looked at how both treatments can help repair brain tissue in rats that were exposed to lead. They divided 40 rats into 4 groups. One group was normal and healthy. One group was given lead to see what happens. Another group got stem cells to help heal their brains. And the last group was given flaxseed oil. The results showed that the rats that had lead exposure had high levels of lead in their blood and fewer important brain chemicals that help with feeling and thinking. The rats that were treated with stem cells had much better brain health and showed signs of healing, while the ones who got flaxseed oil improved a little, but not as much as the stem cell group. This information tells us that stem cells can help fix damaged brain cells better than flaxseed oil can. However, flaxseed oil is still good for the brain since it contains healthy fats called omega-3s. Flax seeds shine because they are affordable and pack a punch in small amounts. This makes them perfect for everyday use. Grind them fresh for the best omega-3 bang and toss them into anything. They add a nutty depth without overpowering, and they're a baker's dream for boosting nutrition. Stock up on whole seeds and grind as needed. It's cheaper and keeps them potent. Here's a budget-friendly flaxseed brain bread recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Buy whole flax seeds in bulk. Online or at health stores is cheapest. Grind a half cup in a blender or coffee grinder until fine. Store extras in the fridge. In a bowl, mix the ground flax with 1 cup of whole wheat flour. Generic is fine. A teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. Stir in a tablespoon of olive oil, a teaspoon of honey, and half a cup of water until it forms a dough. Add a splash more water if it's dry. Knead lightly, shape into a small loaf or flatbread, and bake at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes until golden. Slice and enjoy with a smear of avocado or nut butter. This hearty, omega-3 rich bread is simple, costs pennies per serving, and keeps your brain firing on all fronts. Hemp seeds. Dr. Lee recommends hemp seeds because they're an omega-3 rich seed that regenerates stem cells and strengthens your brain with a nutty crunch. Hemp seeds bring ALA that your body turns into DHA, feeding your brain cells and keeping them agile, great for memory and quick thinking. They're also packed with magnesium and zinc, which support stem cell health and calm your nervous system, cutting stress that clouds your mind. Their perfect omega-3 to omega-6 ratio fights inflammation too, keeping your brain clear and your body balanced. Hemp seeds shine because they're subtle yet powerful. According to a study published in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, researchers looked at how germinated hemp seeds can help improve hair growth and protect our hair cells. They were specifically interested in a type of hair loss called androgenetic alopecia, which is common in men. The scientists tested two things: an extract from germinated hemp seeds and tiny particles called exosomes from the seeds. They found that both the extract and exosomes helped hair cells grow better and protected them from stress caused by a hormone called dihydrotestosterone, DT, which can make hair fall out. The study showed that the hemp seed extract helped hair cells turn into healthy hair-producing cells and also reduced the signals that trigger hair loss. This means that using hemp products derived from germinated seeds could be a natural way to support hair health without the side effects that come with some medications. That's why they're a smart choice. A sprinkle adds big benefits without changing your meal. They're shelf-stable, so buy in bulk to save, and toss them on anything: salads, yogurt, or even soup. Their mild flavor makes them a no-fuss way to boost brain power daily. Here's a detailed, budget-friendly hemp seed brain sprinkle recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Pick up a bag of whole hemp seeds. Online or health stores offer good deals. In a small bowl, mix 3 tablespoons of hemp seeds with a tablespoon of ground flax, optional for extra omega-3s, a pinch of sea salt, and a teaspoon of dried rosemary or thyme. Pantry staples work. Toast the mix in a dry skillet over medium heat for 2 to 3 minutes, stirring until fragrant. Watch it so it doesn't burn. Let it cool, then store in a jar. Sprinkle over roasted veggies, scrambled eggs, or a bowl of rice with a drizzle of olive oil. This crunchy, omega-3 loaded sprinkle is cheap, takes 5 minutes, and keeps your brain and body in top gear. Anchovies.
Hey there, Dr. Willie here. I am once again in the market, and I'm actually in the section with preserved foods, and I want to share with you something that you might not naturally go check out. This is an entire section of different types of anchovy products, and anchovies are high in omega-3 fatty acids, and that's really good for your metabolism and also good to protect your stem cells, or one of your health defenses, to help you regenerate and heal from the inside out. Now, let me just show you. This is actually a tube of anchovy paste. Now, this actually looks like a tube of toothpaste, and you squeeze it out into a pan with a little bit of olive oil. You mash it around as it heats up, and you can saute anything in it, and you'll actually give it a really, really nice umami anchovy flavor, dripping with healthy omega-3 fatty acids.
Dr. Lee recommends anchovies because they're a tiny omega-3 bomb that regenerates stem cells and strengthens your brain with bold, savory goodness. These little fish are packed with EPA and DHA, zipping into your brain to reduce inflammation and boost neuron connections. Think sharper focus and less mental haze. Their omega-3s also rev up stem cells, helping your body repair and renew itself, while their B12 and selenium keep your energy and brain cells humming. They're small but mighty, delivering big results in tiny bites. According to a review in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences, eating foods like anchovies, which are rich in a special fat called docosahexaenoic acid DHA, can help our brains stay healthy. DHA is very important for making new brain cells, especially for adults. The study found that DHA helps brain stem cells, which are like tiny factories that can create new neurons, brain cells, to grow and work better. It can also protect these new cells from dying, which is important for people as they get older or deal with brain problems like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. Anchovies stand out because they're cheap and flavor-packed. That's why they're a hidden gem. A few fillets transform any dish, and canned or jarred options are dirt cheap. Their salty, umami punch means you don't need much, and they melt into sauces for a brain-boosting kick. Keep a tin in your pantry, and you've got instant brain food ready to roll. Here's a detailed, budget-friendly anchovy brain pasta recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Grab a tin of anchovies and oil. Store brands are super affordable. Cook a handful of spaghetti or whatever pasta's in your cupboard, buy in bulk, until al dente, then drain, saving a splash of pasta water. In a pan, heat a tablespoon of the anchovy oil over medium. Then add 2 to 3 anchovy fillets, mashing them until they dissolve. Toss in a minced garlic clove and a pinch of red pepper flakes, optional. Then add the pasta and a tablespoon of the reserved water, stirring until coated. Finish with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of parsley if you've got it. This silky, omega-3 rich pasta is fast, costs pennies per serving, and powers up your brain with every twirl. Purslane.
You know, one of the things that I think is very clever about the polar lipid version of omega-3s is to improve your body's ability to absorb it. It's like a sponge that will actually clean a surface even better. We've all worked with different types of cloth and we're trying to absorb things off of a kitchen counter or something. And here's a case where you're able to take advantage of these polar lipids to get it more avidly better absorbed into our bodies. So who wouldn't want that? Because, we all lose some of the good stuff we eat just by trickling it down. So the more we can absorb, whether it's from our gut into our bloodstream, from our bloodstream into our tissues, I think when it comes to omega-3s, it's precious enough from a health value perspective. I wouldn't want to waste any. So I really like that idea. And I think it also speaks to the fact that not all omega-3s are all the same. So read the label and try to understand what are the advantages that any particular version is offering to you. We're all pretty smart people. We're savvy consumers. If you're taking a look at opening a box of something or a jar of something that supposedly is really good for you, you'd want to take a look at the ingredients and describe what it is that is actually special about that particular one. When you've got choices, and I think this is an example of where the polar lipids make sense.
Dr. Lee recommends Purslane because it's a leafy green bursting with omega-3s that regenerate stem cells and strengthen your brain with a fresh, tangy bite. This often overlooked plant is one of the richest vegetable sources of ALA, which your body converts into DHA to nourish brain cells and keep them sharp, perfect for boosting focus and fighting mental fatigue. Its omega-3s also support stem cell renewal, helping your body repair tissues and stay vibrant. Plus, Purslane's packed with antioxidants like vitamin C and magnesium, which protect your brain from stress and keep your energy flowing smoothly. According to a review in Antioxidants, a study looked at how Purslane can help people with ulcerative colitis. This happens when the intestines get inflamed. The researchers tested 2 kinds of Purslane extracts. One type, called POEM, is packed with proteins and larger molecules, while the other type, POES, has smaller molecules like organic acids. Both extracts showed they could help reduce symptoms like weight loss and inflammation in mice that were made sick with ulcerative colitis. The study found that Purslane can help protect the body from harmful molecules that cause stress and reduce the bad chemicals in the body that make inflammation worse. This helps to keep the intestines healthy and working properly. The findings suggest that Purslane may support cells in the intestines that help repair and heal. Purslane's a hidden treasure because it's nutrient-dense and grows like a weed, literally. That's why it's a brilliant pick. You can forage it for free in many places, grow it easily at home, or find it cheap at farmers markets. Its crisp, slightly sour flavor adds a zesty twist to salads or sandwiches, and it's loaded with goodness raw or cooked. Grab some next time you see it. It's a brain-boosting steal. Here's a detailed, budget-friendly Purslane brain salad recipe you can easily incorporate into your diet. Snag a bunch of fresh Purslane, check local markets or your backyard if it grows wild. Rinse a handful of leaves and stems, they're all edible. Then toss them in a bowl with a chopped cucumber, cheap and hydrating, and a 1/4 cup of cooked quinoa or lentils, use leftovers. For dressing, whisk a tablespoon of olive oil, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, a pinch of salt, and a dash of black pepper. Keep it simple with pantry staples. Mix until coated, then sprinkle with a tablespoon of hemp seeds or crushed almonds if you've got them for extra omega-3s. This bright, omega-3 rich salad is quick, costs almost nothing, and keeps your brain and body buzzing with clarity.